Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Shaun, and you're listening to Zoobox Goes to the Movies. I'm here with my faithful co-host, Dan. And today we're going to be talking about a kind of lesser-known little horror flick. 'Tis the month, as they say. I'm sure somebody said that. I've never said that before in my entire life, but I'm sure somebody has. Maybe Dan has probably thought of it. He's like, oh, yeah, it's October. I should watch scary movies.
'Tis the season, maybe.
Like, he wanted to watch Hobbs and Shaw. What a more terrifying experience would have been.
I didn't want to. I just figured
that's
it'd be
a 3-hour assault. We could do Hobbs and Shaw next week. I'll
Hobbs
watch
and Shaw?
Hobbs and Shaw.
You know what would have been great if they would have done if Hobbs and Shaw, if they did a remake or whatever, but with Calvin and Hobbes. That would have been. Isn't that what it was, right? The old
the comic strip?
Yeah, it was a Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, Bill Watterson.
Oh, it's great stuff.
Calvin and Hobbes is great, man. Actually, I was at the this is completely off topic, but I was at a Goodwill the other day, and they have inside this Goodwill there was like a coffee shop, and in the coffee shop is where they kept all their books and all their movies. And I got a couple.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I got a couple good pickups, dude.
Really? What'd you get?
But they had a bunch of Calvin Hobbes books there. I did not buy them, but they were there. No, I got some Blu-rays. I got some 2 Disney movies for $4 a piece. I got Sam Raimi directed Oz the Great and Powerful.
Mm-hmm.
More just because I'm a Sam Raimi. I really like Sam Raimi, director of The Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3.
Not 3. Don't even bring it up.
3 is not this
3 is pretty fucking bad, dude.
We're gonna do a Spider-Man trilogy cast one day.
Still dreading the Christmas season one, but it's okay.
That's tentative. Tentatively, we have on the docket. What do we have for December, Dan?
No. Let's not even. Let's just leave it.
People
will know. It's gonna be very controversial.
Well, because if you tell people now we don't do it, they're gonna be really let down.
Well, we're gonna do it. I already know we're gonna do it. I'm expecting to do it.
So I got to make sure I'm caught up on homework for when you come home for Thanksgiving.
Because we're going to have to watch it during, that's going to take a couple days. Oh.
No, you can do it. You can get them. Get them.
Huh?
You can get them.
Well, do you want me to
ride the high digital seas, my friend?
I 100% understand, but I'm just saying, if we're going to watch them together.
I would like to watch as many as we can together, yes.
I mean, we are restarting. All right, that's for another time. That doesn't matter. All right, let's get on Lake Mungo.
They're seeing how the sausage is made, my friend.
It's something.
Yeah.
It's something.
It's sausage.
It's something, dude.
It's a movie podcast sausage. Put more effort into this than we do our actual podcast. More thought. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about a little lesser-known horror flick. Like I said, it's called Lake Mungo. This thing is available on Amazon Prime right now. It's an Australian film. The director's name is escaping me at the moment. I was going to look it up, and then I didn't. And so you're going to just have to look it up yourself. The movie is called Lake Mungo. It's from 2006. It's a kind of a mockumentary-style fake documentary horror movie that I think touches on a lot of I really like this movie a lot. I'll just come out and say it. My general opinion is that I really like this movie more just I think it's a very thoughtful ghost story, whereas and it does a lot of things that I didn't expect. Like, I suppose, like the first time I watched it, I thought it was so convincing. I literally had to check to see if it was actually a documentary or not. Like halfway through, I'm like, wait a second. Like, I saw this the first time was like back in like 2010, I think.
Well, it's a sign of the times too. We weren't seeing things like that very often, so.
Especially if you had seen it back in 2006, it would have been a novelty because there wasn't tons of found footage. There wasn't. Other than like the Blair Witch Project and the odd one here and there, but it was not like a subgenre yet.
I would say, when did Paranormal Activity come out? Because that probably came out in 2010.
That actually no, that probably came out around the same time as this. right?
No way. Really?
A couple years after, maybe 2008, 2009. What makes this one unique is that it is not presented as found footage. It is presented as a documentary. Like it's a formal documentary like that you would see about people's lives. Like it's not like just people with cameras running around searching for ghosts or whatever. It's about a family that loses their daughter, and you kind of takes you through the fallout of that. And then there's like alleged maybe there is supernatural stuff going on, maybe there isn't. I think the movie does a good job at creating suspense of whether or not like what you think is going on, and I think it has a few really like smart twists and turns that really make you think like, oh, that's what kind of makes the documentary angle even more credible, because you're like, oh, this is not as crazy as it seems. But anyways, I'm blabbering on. What were your general thoughts before we get into spoilers on this, Dan?
Well, I mean, I did remember it once I started watching it. You were right. Because I couldn't place it in my mind. So when I started it, I was, oh, this feels familiar. About 20 minutes in, I really knew. I remembered exactly what happened. Some of the subject matter, I guess, was lost on me for a little while, or what I remembered. I couldn't remember the ending or anything. But it's okay. And it's not that it's, I think there have been better versions of something like this done. I enjoyed the mockumentary aspect of it. It was cool, but it felt a little melodramatic to me, and a little, it just didn't really hit hard for me. And I think the ending is great, and I think it's a cool way to wrap it up. But it was an to me. I wasn't blown away, I guess you could say.
That is the word of a fool. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
No, I can understand what you mean in terms of it, like the actual content. I think like what really like impresses me, or what I really like about the movie, what I really respond to it, is the construction of the story, and how it is so subtle, and some of the twists and turns. So that's our general thoughts on it, because we're just gonna get into spoilers. If you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime. It's the perfect time of year to watch it. It's like, this is one that what you should do is get your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your kids. You sit them down on the couch. You tell them you're going to watch a documentary. Okay. You tell them it's a documentary. You don't tell them it's a movie. I told my wife this before we were married. We were just dating. I said, this is a documentary. We used to watch documentaries all the time. She didn't know any better. She literally bought it until the end.
Really?
I was like, yeah, that was just a movie. And she's like, wow. Damn, because it really keeps you on the edge of your seat when you're not sure. And
if I was watching it from the perspective that this was a real thing, then I think that movie would have had a greater impact, obviously.
Sure. And I think that's even the first time I saw it, like why I have such a strong sense memory of it, is because I literally wasn't sure. Like we had just gotten Netflix streaming, and it was when Netflix streaming was brand new. It had only been around for like a year, and we were just blown away by the fact that you could just go and have access to like hundreds of movies. We're like, holy shit. So we would just sit there and just watch movies all day, and then watch documentaries. We're really into documentaries.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah, not really. And we were, but Netflix used to have a really eclectic, like, good selection of like really kind of, I don't know, like random movies that you wouldn't think you'd like, but a lot of above board stuff on Netflix back in the day, because there was no competitors trying to get like licenses for movies, so Netflix had a more robust kind of thing. But you would find little gems like this, because I stumbled onto this like thinking it was a documentary.
It was. I mean, they used to have a lot of crazy films on there. They used to have the what's it called? The Trema. What are those things called? The Trauma.
Oh, the Trauma movies.
Yeah, they used to have them on there.
Yeah, and
the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, now Trauma has their own streaming service.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody has their own streaming service.
Everyone's cashing in.
It's like a nightmare.
It is, like, and it isn't. But if you love Trauma, So,
well, if you love Troma, but there's only like you're gonna run out of movies within a month. I mean, there's only like 50 or 60 Troma movies.
I mean, how hardcore? I guess I don't know. It's just if you're a fan, you're a fan. So it is what it is. But yeah, it was definitely. It must have been a cool experience to start watching that film and thinking that it was real.
And I think you could. I think people would buy it. I think if you have somebody that's a little naive, maybe a little younger, they would buy it.
I mean, I fall for things all the time. So with like Not Your Mom's House or whatever.
Oh,
Or
your
Mom's House.
your mom's house. Well, but
I
that
really
was
thought they were sponsored.
that was because you didn't. If you had to listen to like every
That's what
episode
I'm.
to know.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If I just jumped in and I just put this movie on without much, thinking, and I
without
just saw
any
it and I was like, oh, that
context,
looks cool. It would have been a way better experience, I think. It would have made a difference.
But anyways, so but yeah, I would suggest doing that before you listen to the rest of this conversation if you care. If not, well, here we go. We're gonna go. We're about to blast off. And so anyways, so like I said, I really love the way the story is constructed. Like, so it starts out about this grieving family. They lose their daughter. They're kind of just coping with it, and then they start like thinking there's like ghost sightings and apparitions of their daughter in their house, and their son is like figures out ways to, like, he's kind of like captured some stuff on camera and video, and they get involved with the psychic, like a local psychic guy, like who works with the cops. He's an investigator and stuff, and it's all very low key. Like, it's all very super believable stuff, and especially for us, also probably another reason why it worked on me so well. We were steeped in fucking like ghost hunting shows. It was like that was like from the time we from the time we were kids, we were just, even though we didn't really believe any of it, we wanted to believe it, but like we would just watch ghost hunting shows all the time, and the footage was very similar to something that you would see in a ghost hunting show that would be like a big moment,
which is probably why it's all bullshit. But
it was like, oh look, this part of the video here, but really if you look over in the corner, there's this little shadow that could be the silhouette of a person. Like, it's that kind of subtle stuff. It's nothing that, like, there's nobody running up to the camera and screaming or doing anything crazy.
It is very subtle. It's very subtle.
Yeah, it's very low key. But one of the cool twists of the movie is about halfway through, you find out the son has been faking it all.
Yeah, he's doctored some images,
and he doesn't really know why. He just was having a hard time,
which I think is pretty fucking stupid to me. That was a pretty stupid plot point.
No, see, I don't think it was, because he's coping with his sister dying, and he's like doesn't want to let go, and he's like almost like trying to will it to be real. And I think the reason why he's trying to will it to be real is because the psychic guy's there reinforcing these feelings about these things can happen. And I think that's kind of the movie never explicitly tells you. The son never really explains himself, but the movie does comment on the fact that, like, yeah, we think it's kind of fucked up. Like, the parents think it's fucked up. They're like, the mother.
Oh, we don't know why, and everything. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It fell flat for me on that.
But that's just one twist.
Yeah, it's one twist, and it's a half-assed twist.
And then the next twist is that even though there's no ghost in the footage, you see some fucking dude in the girl's room, like hiding, looking for shit in the daughter's room, the dead daughter's room.
When he was faking all the stuff, that's like what they caught.
Yeah, so he accidentally caught somebody actually like sneaking in the house.
Yeah. And
what you find out is that the daughter had like this kind of like seedy secret life where she was having sex with a much older man next door.
And his wife, I think. It was a threesome deal.
I don't know if that was his wife or if that was just another young girl.
It was both of them.
I've seen this 1,000 times. I know.
It's typical.
Story old as time.
Which is another kind of, that was probably the most interesting thing. I think the movie would have been, although it would have been a lot better if the guy would actually killed her. I think that would have been better. Is that what happened? And how does she die? They never really know.
No, it kind of leaves you with the impression that maybe the neighbor killed her. Maybe she drowned on accident. The neighbor's paranoid, so he knows this tape exists, so he's trying to find it. Like, you don't really know. She might have just drowned, or she might have killed herself. Like, you don't. It's inconclusive, but I didn't find it to be in like a really grating way.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If I seen the shit that she did, I probably would have fucking told someone. That shit is retarded. It's retarded. To me, the whole thing falls apart at the end, which is probably the most exciting part. Which I guess we can get to the last twist, which is where.
And then the film twists again, where she's on a school field trip before she dies, and there's a bunch of like old cell phone cameras from back in the day, cell phones, early 2000 cell phones, and she saw a ghost. She saw her own dead body here in like this wide open.
What does she do? She buries her cell phone in the sand. Whatever. That shit pissed me off. I was what the fuck are you? One, she's and then another twist is that she had been going to the same psychic that her mother had been going to seek help or whatever, that their family would seek help, and he doesn't say shit to them.
Well, because it's a confidentiality thing.
Oh,
that's what he says. Because I think he's also a therapist, isn't
he? No, he does consultations where I don't know if he's a therapist. I don't know what the hell he is. It was fucking bullshit. I would. What do you mean? She's dead. Hey, just to let you know, your daughter came to me.
Oh, because she didn't say anything to him that was like material to her case, or and that's his assumption. And then they get pissed off at him for it. It is like part of the story.
Thank God for the mockumentary though that he released all the tapes to. So much for confidentiality.
Well, because at some point they found out. So it's what's the point of being coy about it?
It's all garbage. Like, listen, I was so furious to watch this movie. I don't really get mad, but when I'm sitting there and I'm listening and I'm like, okay, and then the twist happens where she sees her own ghost or apparition or whatever. I don't know if I'm saying that word.
Yeah,
right.
she sees her bloated, like her drowned corpse, basically.
Right, fully clothed. Another bullshit thing. Why was it not nude? She died naked, so. Another bullshit thing.
She didn't die naked. She drowned in the river. She drowned in the pond or lake.
No, when they pulled her out, she was nude.
No.
Yes, she was, dude. You know, I'm a fucking. Don't make me look this up, Sean. I will.
Anyways, keep going.
No, but it falls on its face a few times pretty hard for me.
Well, what is the most like the thing that like you found the most that either pulled you out of the movie the hardest?
Every major plot point was pretty freaking stupid. Even when he's standing across the lake and his sister, like this kid's a fucking serial killer. He's a fucking weirdo. He's out here wearing his sister's clothes.
Yeah, but you're not
making shit.
Yeah, but it's well, he's wearing his sister's hoodie. That's not that weird.
That's kind of weird.
Well, because people like to be close to their lost.
And well, that's where the whole thing gets tricked on, and that's where he gets the idea to fake some of the stuff because that picture went around, and I think that's where I would imagine he got the idea to keep it going, to keep her going.
Yeah, keep her memory alive, people talking about it or whatever.
It was lame. It was pretty lame, and I think it would have been a way more interesting story that if the neighbor, once they find out, they don't do anything with that. They don't contact the police. They don't call. I don't think they did anyway, but just whenever they find nothing, you don't know anything that happens, and that is such a wasted vein they could have went. You could have still had all the paranormal stuff.
Oh, because that's not really, but that's not what the point of the movie is.
I don't care. What is the point? What is the overarching point?
The point of the movie is that the family being able to cope with her death and letting go. Being able to let go.
Fuck the person who murdered her, probably. Fuck
well,
that.
No, I think you can assume that the police were involved. I think just because the universe.
Listen, dude, I don't assume shit. It's either you fucking show me or it didn't fucking happen. I'm very rude. My phone went off. Hold on. Just keep going. I'm listening.
No, I just think it's a real ground enough world where you can assume just because it doesn't tell you something like that is happening. It's probably happening. I mean, they even comment on the fact that they took off, they moved away. So obviously they know where they are. Like they know something. They know something is up. See, I didn't think it was. I don't find those.
You're going to tell me it wouldn't have made it more interesting that if they actually somehow.
Because then you're getting into a contrived movie space. Like it's not trying to create that. What it's trying to create is trying to create like a documentary feel where you don't just get to see all the action. Like you don't get all the.
It's not about the action. Like what do you? Sean, the freaking movie has ghosts in it, dude.
Yes,
if they showed me all that, why can't they show me them? Like, it would be even better if then
it shows you one ghost.
This is what they should have done, and this is how they should have done the fucking movie. I think, like, seriously, all they had to do is the husband, right? Because now he's pissed because he finds out his neighbor who's 30 some odd years old.
He gets himself a shotgun.
No, then seriously, but then he hunts him down, right? And listen, it's all off camera. Then they cut to him in prison because he killed the fucking guy. And there's some like finality there. That would have been better. That would have been way better. It would have been way better. Oh, dude, that would have been sick.
Finality
or tortured him.
The finality is that they move on with their lives.
Oh, yeah, fuck my kid. Fuck what happened to her. No one gives a shit.
No, that's not at all.
Sean, if someone kills your kid, and then you think that
he didn't kill her. He didn't kill her. He was having an inappropriate, like, pedophilic relationship.
We don't know.
I think it's pretty. Just so she drowns, like, or she kills herself.
Oh, it's so lame. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. It's just so stupid. So why? Because she's ashamed.
People don't drown.
She's ashamed. So but obviously it's suicide after some level. Because why the hell would she be out there? It would have been so much cooler if they would have, had something more to do with the husband. That would have been the neighbor. It would have been so much cooler. It would have been such a better movie. I think it would have hit a lot harder if it would have actually had some impact. Because nothing happens. All they do is just pick up and leave.
You keep wanting it to be something that is not, and I'm not saying you have to like it.
No,
I'm just saying, like, to suggest
it is like what it is.
It take like some weird action movie turn.
It's not an action. No,
yes.
Don't make it an action. I don't want to see any of it.
It's just subtle. It's not what the movie's about.
Well, I don't give a shit what the movie was about because it was stupid. It was not in my opinion. I think it was just kind of lame, dude. I was sitting there. I want to see them get upset. Like, they're really upset and go after these freaking people that molested their daughter.
Yeah, but they're not. You're seeing it through the lens of, like, a documentary film crew is making a movie about this family. People tend to not everything is like a reality show where people just, like, bawl their eyes out at every instance. Like, real people are more reserved. Real people are a little more guarded than that. Like, so when you're seeing the family being interviewed and stuff, it's after they've already cried. It's after they've already been.
No, I get that. But why would they not? Why would nothing get done about this guy? It just makes no sense. They had the video. Probably could have been brought up on criminal charges.
You don't know whether or not that does happen.
A fucking problem for me. It's a big problem. That's a big problem for me. I think it's just the movie in itself, fine. On its own, when it just goes, this is just a story of a family healing. Going through the process, having to deal with their, nutso fucking son that can't deal with reality, I guess, or something. And he does all this weird shit. Doesn't even ground the kid, for one. Pissed me off. Not even a grounding.
Take away his Game Boy. I mean,
they don't, man.
Clearly playing video games this whole time.
I mean, I understand from the sense of a parent being, oh, well, you're grieving in your own way. Fine, whatever, cool. I don't know, man. I think it could have been done better. I think it would have been more interesting. Not an action movie aspect, but give it some substance besides you're just a sad family and you've come to terms with your daughter's death. Because all the stuff shot from the documentary style, they do that thing anyway where they follow them to the desert. They dig it up, the phone where she buried it. So it had those disconnections from just the mockumentary feel because it takes you into that reality. It becomes a reality TV show.
No, they take them out there. No, it does not become a reality TV show.
In that moment,
because they follow people in real time, it becomes like a reality TV show.
No, but that's the same argument saying, well, what happens if
is the documentary Stevie a reality TV show because they hang out with him in his backyard?
Yes.
No.
What I'm saying is when they actually go with him, they take that level of them already coming there to film a documentary to finding the evidence in the middle.
Well, they wanted to find
and do all that shit. It was lame.
Because that's the movie's big reveal is that yes, there is. Oh. She was haunted by something like
herself.
It had manifested in the way that it had manifested. There is no explanation for it because it's paranormal. and it's just supposed to be. That's the big reveal of the movie. That's the big creepy part of the movie. It is a slow burn movie that is more about, like I said, about a family and stuff like that. But what I would say that I appreciate or respect about this movie is how reserved it is. Like, is the fact that it doesn't like try to be crazy or try to be like overly sensational. I like that it's just kind of
lame, boring.
No, because it feels real. Like it feels like a real documentary.
Shaun, I never got that feeling once. I always thought the actors were kind of shitty. You know,
I totally disagree with that.
I know, but you go from the perspective of not knowing. So the first time you started watching, you're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, but I know.
Insane.
No, well, first of all, I knew while watching the movie that it was even the first time. Like within 20 minutes, I looked it up.
Exactly. Then, so you ruined it again. And ruin it again for yourself.
And then watching it this time, this is probably the third time I've actually watched it. Like sat down and watched it in my entire life. And I obviously knew that it was fake.
I'm just saying, listen, I will watch things that are not necessarily what we'd say done movies and enjoy them.
Hold on. You don't think this apes like a real documentary very well?
Does it take form of one?
Like, dude, it apes one. It looks like one. It kind of feels like, especially
it's called a mockumentary.
If you think about documentaries from like the time it came out, like the late 90s to mid 2000s. Like the American movies, stuff like that.
Sure.
Like it's got that real.
I made probably around the same time. Dear Zachary is an amazing documentary. Probably one of the best documentaries I've ever seen.
But that's completely different style.
But that's the kind of thing I'm saying. That was a really good documentary because it had real life twists and turns, things that you should.
But it's also real life.
No, it is real life. But that's the thing. So it's okay to get a little wild, you know, and maybe have something more to do with this guy who, sexually assaulted your daughter, who did all this like messed up shit, broke into your house. They have him on film doing it, and nothing happens. Nothing happens with that vein. All they do is say this. She's shamed.
You don't know. You don't know that.
I don't give a shit. If they don't tell me, then I don't know.
It might say something. It might actually say something at the end of the movie.
I don't think it says anything.
It might actually say something in the postscript about it.
I turned that shit right off. The moment they went black, I'm done. No, I mean, in all seriousness, so I would give it a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Nothing. Crazy. It's pretty fine. The performances are okay for unknown actors and actresses. Not bad. The direction was okay. It was just very bland. If I I think Paranormal Activity is a better found footage film, or type of weird style.
I would not say that Lake Mungo is found footage. It's only found footage by virtue of it being like a fake documentary that sometimes those movies try to do. Like Paranormal Activity is a found footage movie in the sense that like who the fuck put this together? Or you watch something like the last Exorcism, which I think is actually really pretty decent. Like I think it's really underrated.
Yeah, it's okay.
It has a great central performance, and it's a pretty good movie. It's similar in the sense of it like keeps you guessing, but who the fuck made that movie? Like, you know what I mean? Like this. I don't know. I feel like this feels authentic in
all the ways
that like make me what I think about documentaries.
And like, then it also,
especially of the time, of the era, especially.
Sure, of the time, of the era, for me, it was a good try. I think they could have done better. That's just me. I don't know, man. It just wasn't for me, and I think it's an okay film. I wouldn't give it a solid, overall it was kind of okay. It was just okay.
Everybody's entitled to be wrong a few times in their life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I don't know, man. Your quality and taste in movies has dipped, man. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, my God. You shut your damn whore mouth.
It's true, man. You like Star Wars. I can't trust anything you say.
I like 2 Star Wars movies. Yeah,
but we have to.
I guess it's pretty obvious I disagree with Dan. I think it's really well done. I think if you want to watch something that's slower, more mature, subtle, a lot of nuance that gives you something that's just more than what these kind of movies usually give you.
I would recommend you go watch Hobbs and Shaw for some full frontal action.
If there was full frontal nudity in Hobbs and Shaw, I would definitely watch it. I'd watch it tonight, okay? But I know there's not, because those guys are pussies that have to like negotiate with their agents like, well, I can only get hit 4 times. You can only kick me in the face 4 times, and I gotta stand there and I gotta take it.
I think it's
they do that? They negotiate.
Sure.
They have it in their contracts like how many fights they can lose in a movie.
Oh,
and, like,
I'm sure.
And how they have to like lose the fight. Like they can't actually lose the fight. It has to get like interrupted. Like I didn't know that until this past year, and it was because of Hobbs and Shaw. Apparently, there was just because Jason Statham, The Rock are huge, and a bunch of shit leaked from like the behind the scenes of that. But we could talk about that, I guess, if we watch Hobbs and Shaw.
Probably not.
It's no Lake Mungo. I can already tell you that, and I haven't even seen it.
Lake Mungo, hey, wasn't for me. I would say leave it out of your playlist, but that's just me. This is me.
What would you recommend? It's spooky season.
For a spooky, like The Witch. The Witch is a really good spooky.
Yeah, but that's a movie
thriller
people
type.
Would probably have the same criticisms that you gave Lake Mungo would probably be given to The Witch.
No, not at all. I think it's not. I never once said Lake Mungo was boring. I said it was kind of just shittily done. It just was very clunky, and it didn't feel that it ever really caught grip until the last 10, 15 minutes. I couldn't wait for it to be over. Most of the time, I was just like, let's go. And it wasn't because I think it was poorly paced, and it wasn't done right, in my opinion. But The Witch is paced right, and there's enough going on. That opening scene alone should make you want to watch the rest of the movie because it's so fucking creepy.
Yeah, but most people, you'd be surprised. Most people really dislike The Witch.
Oh, I know. I've shown people, and I hate this movie.
But they say a lot of the same things you said about, in the sense of like bad acting, like it's stilted, it's boring.
No, but there's not one clip of bad acting in that to me. I can't.
To you and to me as well.
To someone who actually has some taste, I think. I am the best movie watcher of all time.
Yeah.
I am the best movie. I can watch anything and then probably try to find the enjoyment. And when you put me through watching Lake Mungo, it nearly killed me.
I nearly became the ghost myself.
I can't stand that. Why would you not? That's the stupidest plot point. I'm gonna go bury my fucking phone.
Yeah, you can't. Come on, man. You can't judge a movie based on like what you want it to be. You gotta like look at the.
Yes, I can.
That's like like me.
I totally can.
No, you should. But you, as an honest critic,
I want Star Wars to be a good movie. I can't because it sucks. All of them.
That's your entire review.
It's it. I mean, we
publish it in Rolling Stone. Put it on the poster.
There is nothing to Lake Mungo to me. If I saw that movie in 2006, I think I would say it's a good movie, and I think I did. And I remember liking it a little bit more the first time I watched it. But didn't even have aliens in it. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Not even that fourth kind level.
That would have been sick. That would have been a great twist. It's just aliens. That would have been sick. She actually got captured by aliens, and they put this weird body in the water. Like they learned how to reconstruct her DNA and just put a flesh body in there. Boom. The next
now we're talking movies.
Now we're talking. And then I want to see Will Smith, and it just would be great. I don't know. I think there is a lot to say that it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but I think it just falls flat. That's all I have to say about Lake Mungo.
Dan is just murdering people's. You're robbing people of the experience. You're gonna rob them,
dude. That's just my opinion, man. Shake it or take it, man.
Is so? You have any other like horror movies that you come to mind when you think about movies you like of this genre? Of this
mockumentary?
No, just horror movies in general.
Of horror, I'm not the biggest horror film fan anyway. I've never been a huge horror film guy, but one's just, the Slither count. I enjoy Slither. It's more of a comedy, but
It's like part of the
comedy horror.
broad genre. Yeah, right.
Uh,
You don't like Dawn of the Dead, like anything like that?
well, like the original zombie movies.
Well, either the remake or the original.
You know,
I like both of them actually. I think the remake is one of the rare good remakes.
I've never been a big zombie fan. Never really got into it. Never, and it was just never my thing. None of it.
You like the Devil's Rejects, Dan?
It's okay. Those are okay movies.
Sick. See, there he goes, right there. It's got to be depraved.
But I do tell you the truth. I've never been a big horror fan. This is my toughest month. I do like psychological horror, so like, The Witch is more psychological horror than like, what you would say supernatural.
Yeah, it's called pretentious and boring.
There's I don't even know. I can't think of a horror movie. Paranormal Activities. I thought at least the first couple were pretty fun. They were good. They gave you real like good scares.
I enjoyed them like the first 3 for what they were, right? Like
then it gets just I don't even know.
I mean, either by the time it gets to the third one, you're already into crazy town. But like
yeah. But at least it was somewhat interesting to see that world fleshed out a little bit. It
was kind of fun. I watched the last one I watched part of like 4 and then never finished it. And then I watched Ghost Dimension. That movie
I thought it was the marked ones. Or is that a different one? I have no idea.
That is a different one. It's another one.
I stopped caring after 3 or something.
Yeah, I found it like it was like $3.
Maybe 4.
It was like $3 at Big Lots or something, and I was like, I'll buy anything for $3. So I had Paranormal Activity, Ghost Dimension is really bad.
I think there's just not horror is one of the hardest ones to hit. Insidious, the first Insidious was pretty good.
Yeah, so you like horror. You're over there naming all these horror. What about you like The Shining, Dan?
Well, yeah, of course. Who doesn't like The Shining?
Lots of people
it's more psychological than supernatural to me. A psychological thriller. It's more of a thriller to me. I mean, if you really break down the premise.
The Shining?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got horror aspects. It's obviously about a haunted hotel. I mean, he's talking to ghosts.
And it's also about a dude who tries to kill his family with an axe.
Yeah.
He's going crazy the whole time.
Pretty horrific.
Do they even say that it's real? Do they only know it's real? Does he have The Shining? And so does Danny? You know, I don't know, because the only one who never sees anything, I believe, is the mother.
No, she sees stuff.
What does she see? Because I don't remember her seeing anything.
All the skeletons in the lobby. She sees the bear going down on that dude.
That wasn't her, was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Really?
That's why she's freaking out. She's like running around with a knife.
It's been years since I've seen it, or a couple years.
Just watched it. That was my first movie of the season.
You know, The Shining is a fantastic film, but horror to me, it's got to be really done well. I will not go watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've seen it. You know, those movies are for their time. They were great. You know.
Yeah, they're definitely more movies of their time. Yeah,
for sure. They were some of the first stuff that had ever been done like that. And then you have gore and all those big bloody movies, Saw and.
I think if you're
House of 1,000 Corpses and stuff, I guess.
If you're a fan of just filmmaking in general, like just the way movies are made.
I just like good movies, just good movies.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a pretty cool movie to watch just to think about how they actually made it. Like it really is like a down and dirty independent movie. And
made with mob money.
And it's cool because of that. Like it actually gives it a little bit of its cachet, like a little bit of its allure is just the way it was made.
Right, made by a bunch of college students, right? In debt to the mob. Didn't the mob back that movie?
Did the mob back that movie? I'm not sure.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm almost 90% sure that is a fact. That
it's very
the
possible.
Mob, if they didn't make money back off of that, then they probably would have been.
I watched actually Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 the other night, and it's actually a pretty fun movie. Like it's a funny movie. You're not supposed to be taking it very seriously.
Right. I remember the second one.
So it ages a little bit better because it's satirical. But that was actually I had a good time with it. I didn't. I always thought it was okay, and then I watched it the other night and I was like, oh, I think this has grown on me a little bit because I'm not a big when I watch horror movies. I'm not like takes a lot. It's very hard for me to like a horror movie. I don't really like. I'm not a big into like Friday the 13th or
I'm telling you, that's
Freddy
why.
Krueger. Like I can't really. I think some of them are fun and I can watch them but I'm not like a huge fan. I'm not a super fan of that stuff.
Yeah,
I definitely like the more low key horror stuff that actually kind of creeps me out. And just I think growing up, definitely being Catholic, anything with like that's like a low key demon story will kind of get under my skin.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The original Exorcist, I actually think it gets under my skin a little bit, just
That
because
one
of
does.
the stuff that creeps me out the most though is not even the exorcism stuff. It's the everything
The
surrounding
stuff in
it,
the attic, and then like.
or the stuff in Iraq, wherever he's in the Middle East, like
Oh yeah.
finding
Dude,
Pazuzu, like
Dude, great films. The Omen, man.
Yeah,
Oh, the original. That
yeah.
shit's scary as till to this day. I cannot watch that movie at night. I can't.
Yeah, growing up,
I live alone, dude.
Favorite of mine.
I live alone, man. I get I don't know way. Do you even thinking about it? I'm like, fuck this.
Dan gets the willies.
That shit. The Omen is fantastic. The original Omen is.
It's actually
incredible.
been a while. I got the box set like a year ago.
I watched it maybe not even a year ago. I think when I was in Turkey, I watched it.
I might watch that before I go to bed.
They were all on Amazon Prime at one point, all 4 of them, or 3 or 4 of them. So
there's 4 of them. There's 3 original. Then there's
even the second one's good. The second one's pretty good too.
Damien.
That's a good film, dude. That shit's pretty freaking.
It's okay.
No, that's just pretty good.
That was more like a little bit more of like a standard horror movie. Have you ever watched? You like Cronenberg, so you like Videodrome. That's that's a horror. Yeah. That's like a socio-political sci-fi horror movie.
Sure. Yeah.
The Fly is a horror movie.
That's it's good. I would consider, I guess, sci-fi horror. I guess, yeah.
The
Alien. You can say Alien's a horror film on some level.
It is. No, it is. It's totally a horror film.
But it's a good movie. It's a badass action film.
Yeah. I mean, like it's kind of like in that same way where The Shining is elevated because of Kubrick. Alien is elevated because of what's his fucking name? Oh my god. What's the director's name?
Escape from New York.
Ridley Scott. No, yeah. Escape from New York is
John Carpenter. Okay.
Yeah. No, Alien is Ridley Scott.
Not Aliens. That's
Aliens is James Cameron. Jimmy Cameron, director of the Terminator movies.
And Aliens 3 is David Fincher.
Yeah, one of the. I'm surprised his name's actually on the movie. I'm surprised because he had such an awful time making it, and they basically took it away from him and butchered it.
I wonder his original what it looked like.
They have one that's a little bit closer to the script, anyways. It's the producer's cut of the Alien 3. It's like 40 minutes longer.
Any better?
If I recall, it's been a long time since I watched it.
Aliens 3 and 4 were kind of bad. I never really, but the first 2 were great.
Yeah, there's not one that I can't watch, but
Resurrection was pretty bad.
Resurrection is bad, but it can be fun to watch if you're in the right mindset. If you're in the mood for it.
It was a weird time in the 90s.
It's the late 90s, yeah, 96, 97, I think that came out.
Yeah, I just remember her playing basketball in that film.
Yeah, she does the
dunk. Yeah, what the fuck am I watching? I just remember such a dump because they were superhuman now.
Yeah, they were trying to show off her powers. It's crazy because
just put her in the fucking gym, dude. Slaying some weight. That would have been a great way to show that.
Just like Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh yeah. There's definitely some horror for me is definitely the hardest to do and to enjoy.
Are you looking
probably the hardest thing?
Are you looking forward to The Lighthouse?
Is that the one with Robert Pattinson or some shit?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson won the.
I haven't seen a trailer. I have no idea.
Wow. It's the same guy who directed The Witch.
Okay, is that a horror film?
Yeah,
I might check that out.
Yeah, the trailer looks great. They also filmed it like it's some crazy with these old-fashioned cameras. And
I really can't get over when Robert Pattinson played Salvador Dali.
I've never seen that.
Dude, he fucking full-on masturbates for real and orgasms on film.
See, that's dedication. That's an actor. actor, my friend.
That's some Aubrey Plaza did it too. She did some windshield wiping on the movie screens. She really did. I guess she legitimately masturbated on the. But he no bullshit. He masturbated in front of people and came. I don't think that you don't see his dick or anything. But yeah.
But I would have liked to. I would like to have seen it all.
For sure, you know.
If Lake Mungo had Robert Pattinson masturbating,
it would have that would have been a great twist. That would have been a great twist. That would have been the twist that I needed to see.
Actually, if you want to see a really good performance by Robert Pattinson, that's not too old. I think it's a year, 2 years old now. Good Time. It's on Amazon Prime. It's that's a pretty wild movie.
He's probably gonna redeem himself. Hopefully, I just don't trust anything with that.
Good Time.
Anymore.
Good. He's like legitimately like amazing in Good Time.
I'm sure.
He's like this dirtbag, like petty thief guy, and he's got like a mentally disabled brother.
Oh, that was close, Shaun.
I know it was. I went. I mean, if you say mentally retarded, it shouldn't be a big deal. To be honest with you. I mean, I'm not like, oh, he's got this fucking retarded brother. This fucking retard. Oh, yeah. But anyways, so his brother gets like caught because they like robbed something, and then he gets the shit kicked out of him in jail because he's slow and he pisses off one of the inmates, so they beat the shit out of him.
Why are you ruining the movie, bro?
This is the first 10 minutes, and then he gets put in a hospital, and the whole movie is Robert Pattinson trying to avoid the police and get his brother out of jail / the hospital, and it all takes place over one night, and it's like, and the whole movie just gives you anxiety. And it's just all chaos.
Okay, sounds cool. I'll probably check it out.
Actually, I think you'd enjoy it.
I don't know, man. You said I would enjoy Lake Mungo, but here I am.
I thought you would. I thought you were a classy guy. Okay, I thought I could.
I guess not.
You this subtle, classy horror movie, and you'd respond well to it. But instead, you were just like disgusted.
I tell you what, if anybody goes and watches this movie, go comment on our Facebook or Instagram, Zoobox Podcast, and you guys decide who is right. Me or Shaun. Let's do it. Maybe we'll do a poll.
Lake Mungo or Lake Nungo?
I'm going to tell you right now, more people are going to agree with me.
Well, that might be...
I have taste. I have taste.
I'm a man of expensive taste.
You have the lack of taste. I don't know what that is, the lack of taste. But you're missing one of your senses, which is taste.
What do you think of the Conjuring movies, Dan? You've been Conjuring movies?
The first one's the only one watchable to me. The second and third one are... the second one's garbage.
There is no third one.
Whatever.
They're making the third one right now.
Whatever. The second one then. The one when they're in England, that shit is garbage.
Yeah, it was crazy. The first one is kind of like a classy, old-fashioned haunted house movie.
Then it gets just ridiculous.
Yeah. And then it basically turns into Hobbs and Shaw in Conjuring 2. Like it turns into an over-the-top, like crazy shit going off everywhere. Yeah,
it's pretty bad.
I've only watched it once. I've been meaning to revisit it, but
I am so impressed how that entire Conjuring universe has been able to have so many spin-off movies. It's impressive. The doll shit.
There's been 3 Annabelle movies.
The Nun was another one.
Yeah, that was a more recent one, yeah.
Which I didn't watch. I think I started, but it was too late. And I can't watch it with nuns in it, man.
If a horror movie like looks like a music video, I automatically just don't want to watch it.
I just couldn't get into The Conjuring's okay. The first one's okay. I would give it a 6 out of 10. You know, it was.
I'd give it a 7.5. I think it's pretty effective.
When I saw that movie, I saw it in theaters, and I went with my buddy Steven, and he was on a date with actually I believe no, it's not. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. But we were on a date. Or he was on a date. I wasn't. I was just there, third wheeling it hardcore. So we're watching it, and do you remember the scene where the girl has a nightmare or something? She's screaming. The sister runs in, and they somehow, she goes, "What's wrong? What's going on?" Blah, blah, blah. And then it scans to the cupboard. you know, or the dresser.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the creature is on. That shit is legitimately terrifying the first time because you really didn't expect it. When you know something's gonna happen.
Well, because he does a fake out where he builds it up and shows you nothing with that dresser.
Oh my god, that shit.
So he literally is. It's a psychological trick. He does it with a few different things. The way where the camera pans and what it shows you, because he shows you these things. He's like, look, there's nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, and then you think on the third beat, you're like, it's gonna be there, and then it's not there, and then he waits a little bit longer, and then he gets you. Yeah, it's just
it was
really well put together. Really well put together. Yeah,
that one particular scene for sure. And then, but when that happened, there was, I think, 3 or 4 women sitting in the front row, and one of them just goes, "Oh, fuck this shit!" It just straight up walks out of the movie. And then the other girl follows, or one of her friends. She never came back, dude. She was done right there. And I've never seen that in a film where someone says "fuck that" and just leave.
Got so scared they walked out. Yeah,
she couldn't do it. That. She could never do it. So that was my experience with Conjuring. But I'm not a big horror guy. I don't like horror. Never really been into it. I like watching movies that genuinely make me feel uncomfortable or scared. Maybe not a Serbian film level uncomfortable, but definitely, which we don't need to even get into that. But
we could do it. We could do it.
Definitely. I am not watching that movie again.
Why not? Newborn porn.
No, dude. Oh,
newborn porn.
Dude, that shit is just. I can't, dude. I can't.
That's a rough one.
I will never watch it.
I own that shit. I have not watched it.
I will not watch it ever again. After that,
it's just a movie, dude.
I don't care, man. That
Jesus
shit is
Christ,
so traumatizing.
Man, it's just kid stuff. I mean, come on.
Dude, yeah, literally, it was horrific. It was horrific. That scene, dude. Oh my god.
It's a rough watch. That's a rough watch.
I remember I watched it when I was in my first year in the military, and I was scarred. It made me sick. Watch it. I got sick to my stomach.
Yeah, I totally got that off the digital high seas back before it came out in the US. And I had a visceral reaction to that movie as being like, normally I don't ever say that things go too far. I was like, but god damn it, this movie comes pretty fucking close.
It's too much. I'm good. I get it. Shock value, trying to make a statement. It's just
supposedly it's like about the Serbian government.
Yeah.
What it does to this people, and
I just don't care.
And fucks and kills them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a wild movie. That's like something like, strap on your hard hat.
Strap on,
going into the cave.
Dude,
going into the darkness.
Hard hats must be worn. You could never watch that film. I would never show that to somebody. I would never sit down and be like, you gotta watch. I won't even do that. I'm dead serious. I don't even think you should not go watch this movie.
There was a movie I used to do that just to see like people's reactions. It's called Visitor Q. It's like this weird Japanese movie, and I definitely showed that to some people just to see them squirming, because it's just like at the end, the movie ends with the dude holding a woman and milking her breasts onto a kitchen floor, and like her family coming up and drinking the milk off the floor. That's how the movie ends. That's the big.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
No, I don't know. I just yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not into that stuff. It really doesn't do anything for me.
It doesn't get you off?
No, obviously not.
It doesn't get you off?
No. Not today.
What I just said to you does not fucking rock your socks? Wow, weird. That's not on brand at all. What are you doing?
If I want to watch a good Asian film, I'll go watch. Go
watch Old Boy, like a respect.
Old Boy is fantastic.
That's a Korean.
I saw the Devil. That's Asian, Shaun. Yeah, they're in Asia.
Another excellent Korean film.
I saw the Devil was probably my favorite, and it's all the same dudes in it, basically. So
yeah, it's like there's 20 actors in Korea.
Well, he must be the Will Smith, Tom Cruise, or something of their country.
Well, he's a big actor over there. The guy you talking about, Odaisu, the guy.
Odaisu. Yeah, he's great.
He's a huge actor in Korea.
He's amazing too. He's a great actor.
He's so good. You saw Lady Vengeance, right? The last Vengeance trilogy. He's also great in that.
He plays He plays the pedophile, right?
Or one teacher.
Yeah. So good. He really, I can't even think anything I've seen in him or with him is great. Thirst was okay. The director of the Vengeance trilogy was okay.
I like Thirst more. The more I watch it, I like it. I've probably watched it about 3 times.
I haven't seen it in a while. I think I've seen it twice. It used to be on Netflix. That's how I watched it. I think I Saw the Devil is one of my favorite films of all time. It's up there. It's definitely my top 20.
There'll be you could watch that during the horror season because it's got like a thriller kind of horrific aspect to it. Serial killer movie.
It's not even that. It's just insane.
It's like a really intense version of the last 20 minutes of Seven, or not like the last 20 minutes, but that the 20 minutes before the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I get it's just catch and release. That's what I'll call it. Catch and release film. That's the way. I have never seen a movie do that before. That was my first experience ever seeing something like that.
Yeah. I think the only criticism I remember of I Saw the Devil I ever had was like I thought it was a little long, but I really liked it though.
I don't care if movies are long if they're good.
I think it's like 2.5 hours long. Well, and the only reason I say that is because it literally kind of does the same thing over and over again. And
yes, it does.
And that's fine. Like I do enjoy the movie. It's been a while. It's one actually it's been on my list to revisit. Maybe we should do an episode about that one of these days because that's a fun one.
I Saw the Devil is fantastic. I think anyone should go out and watch that. It used to be on Amazon Prime. I think it's on one of the streaming services, either it's Hulu, Amazon Prime, or Netflix. It's been a while. I think I ended up actually buying that movie off of Amazon Prime because I wanted to watch it.
Yeah, I have it on DVD actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, going that far back.
Oh man. Still, I mean, I don't know. Horror films are, for me, if they're good, if it's a good movie, it's a good movie. I'll watch it. That's the way I will. I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't discriminate based on the genre. Like, I'll watch a good romantic comedy. Like, even though I don't really watch them, I will watch it though.
I watch crap movies probably all the time. I do. I watch a lot of crappy movies, but a show that just came out actually on Netflix. I powered through and watched the whole thing. Yeah. It's pretty bad in a lot of ways, but I don't care. I loved it. And it's bad in a lot of ways. The acting's not great.
What is it?
Raising Dion on Netflix.
I've never even heard of it.
It's a cool concept. It's actually got what's his name? Michael B. Jordan? What's his name? The guy that plays in the Chronicle.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan from Creed.
Yeah.
He's in a Netflix series.
Yeah, but he plays somewhat of a more. He's not. You would have to watch it. He is in it throughout the entire series, but it's small parts. He probably did it over the course of a week or two. It's an interesting story. It's about this young African American kid that must be 8 or 10 years old, I believe. He's around that age, and his father passes away, and his mother changed schools and stuff. You know, she's having a tough time with the loss, yada yada yada. But come to find out that Dion has powers of some sort, and he could start levitating stuff with his mind. It's a pretty cool concept. It's really cool, and he can't control it, and he's very powerful. So, you know, she's got to take him out of school because blah blah blah. It's an interesting thing. And then the characters are not original. I love Dion though. I think Dion's a really pretty good kid actor. And if I was gonna put a TV show on for my kids, it would be great for like a 10-year-old.
Oh, probably.
It would be amazing. You know, Smallville. When you go back and when I watched Smallville growing up, I think I started around 10, 11, 12, maybe 13 years old, somewhere around there. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. It's very Smallville-y, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
You know, but it's great, and the characters are cool, and they don't throw too much of the feminism bullcrap in your face. So,
no cuck SJW stuff in there, right?
No, there's definitely stuff. Yeah,
here we go.
But at least it was tastefully. I do think somewhat tastefully done.
Listen,
No, some of it.
But
Some of it was a little tastefully done.
When they have stuff like that in movies or TV shows, it's not a disqualifier. It's just how well do they do it. It's like, is it well written or not? If it's really heavy handed and like annoying,
it is pretty heavy handed, but it's also something that everyone was thinking. Even I was thinking it. I knew they had to say something. It
you should watch. You should watch Watchmen, dude. You'll love it, dude. It's a woke as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. Catwoman, I hear, is woke too. So.
Catwoman?
I won't be watching. Yeah, I won't be watching that. I hear it's awful.
Catwoman? Oh, you mean Batwoman?
Or yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh my god, the sexism just seeping out of your body.
Bat. No,
Batwoman. Yeah, but Batwoman was never going to be good. It's like a shitty CW show. Like, so I don't know why people give a shit because it was never going to be good.
But it's all for fanfare. It's all ridiculous. At least in this story. Raising Dion is worth a shot. I think if you watch it with your kid, he would love it. I really do.
Probably. I think like a lot of these modern shows, they're written for a very specific group of people. They're written for pop culture critics, writers, and bloggers. That's who those shows are. They're not like aimed at the audience you think they would be. They're aimed at like bloggers. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like seriously, I did not despise the new Watchmen show. Even though it's completely off topic, but like it is like watching somebody check off a bunch of boxes on a progressive worksheet.
Sure, I mean it's
like,
everything.
It was
like the political candidates. It's like, oh god, here we go.
It was so egregious. Like I thought the eyes were gonna roll out of the back of my fucking head.
Is it that bad?
Minutes. The first 15 minutes are really rough. It gets more interesting as it goes. But like, holy shit, dude! Like,
it's kind of hard to find a TV show that's
I'm gonna really hate watching. Yeah, exactly. It's all over television.
It's everything, and this is the interesting thing. Anytime I see it, so in Raising Dion, there is a scene where they deal with racism,
which is fine. That's fine.
But this is my thing that I at least respect how the TV show went about it because. Okay, it was a little of a stretch for me. Like,
let's hear your white man's opinion.
The racism aspect of it was a little bit of a stretch, but it might hold some credence to it in the certain situation they bring up. But the way she goes about it is somewhat tasteful. I would say somewhat tasteful.
It's hard to say because I mean I understand you can't really be specific, but
I don't want to be too specific.
Yeah.
But technically, she tells them. She tells them that hey, this person was raised wrong. To think a certain way.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like
whatever.
There's a difference between like proselytize, like preaching in your show, and then just having good subtext that's written in. Like you can.
Sure.
There's just a difference between good writing and bad writing. That's really all it is.
Well, it's bad. There's a lot of bad writing up there.
Well, we've been talking about this, and it's been in movies and in TV shows and pop culture for years. Like since in the '90s, all that kind of stuff. Like. Feminism, ending racism is bad. Like now they literally, it's not enough that it's in the subtext now. Now they have to like literally look at the camera and be like, yo, racism's bad. Okay, guys? Like it's bad.
Yeah, it's
a scourge, man. Shit.
I think it's something that will pass, but
like who are you writing this for? Like who doesn't like the vast majority of people think that already. I mean, come on.
I don't think that's true. I think not that racism isn't bad or sexism. I think we all know that stuff is bad. But there has been a resurgence in our culture to where they feel the need that it has to be said.
But do you think it's actually they're just paying attention now to like giving credence to a very small minority of people?
Listen, man, it's making money. It makes some money.
No, exactly. But it's just because it's just because these people exist in echo chambers on the internet. And they think that's reality. And they think
it's always been that way.
No, because people didn't have the opportunity to have it the same way.
Listen, yes, they did. They did. If you only hung out in certain groups and you only watched certain movies.
Yeah, but we're extending that out to the internet, so people think it's like a global phenomenon when it's really not.
What's a global phenomenon?
That like there's incel terrorists all around us. Like that's not really a thing.
No, it's not.
It's not. But you're made to believe it is just like 4chan's gonna get you. Like it's just all this bullshit that is propped up to be used as like propaganda against people. And anyways, horror movies.
Yeah, horror movies. We'll probably cut this last.
Absolutely not. It's all in.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't edit anymore. I just leave it all in. But yeah. So if I were to make one recommendation before we go, it's on Netflix as a show, just like Dan was talking about a show. The Haunting of Hill House. I need
to watch that.
I think it's excellent. It's a great 10-part miniseries. Basically, it's a 1 season, one and done.
Maybe we should watch that next week. Or we can talk about that next week, maybe.
If you can watch it within the week, I'd love to talk to you about it. I really, really liked it. I'm not going to say you are. I mean, it might be a little bit too highbrow for you.
Maybe. I'll check it out.
It's no Hobbs and Shaw. But if you end up watching it and you end up just liking it and finishing it, just let me know.
Okay.
And that would be. It's an interesting one. I was really affected by it, and I think a lot of that has to do with just recent personal history and we have a father that passed away and just stuff like that. So it's
my dad's dead.
He's dead, motherfucker.
Give me money.
But yeah, so that's gonna do it for us. That's Zoobox Goes to the Movies, Lake Mungo, and etc. discussion. If you want to find us, you can find us on facebook.com/Zoobox Podcast. Same thing with Instagram. Search at Zoobox Podcast. So you can find us there. If you'd like to email us, if you'd like us to review a specific movie, this would be a way to do that. You could hit us up on the email, the Instagram or Facebook, but email as well. ZooboxPodcast@gmail.com. Honestly, you should probably, if you're going to go to the trouble to do that, just go to the Facebook page and drop us a line there. And
don't forget to look us up on YouTube as well.
Also, we do have a YouTube page. It's kind of more of just a place to store things right now. I mean, everything we do is pretty much up there, but we haven't done anything specific for
We're going to be getting video soon. It will happen.
We'll be getting video at some point where there'll be video versions probably of the podcast up there.
Yep.
That's at some point.
Yep.
No promises yet.
Mm-hmm.
No promises yet. And what else? Anything else? Oh, and also the Zoobox Goes to the Movies. This has been a Facebook and YouTube only thing. We are going to start putting the older episodes up on to the podcast feed, just a little extra thing. But I don't think we're going to do every episode. I think we'll just do big movies. Only big movies will go up on the podcast feed. But these will be more. So I think Joker will go up. I think we're all planning on, at least me and you were planning on seeing Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go see the Terminator movie. So if you end up going to see the new Terminator, we can do that too.
Ugh.
I know, but I'm obligated. I feel like I've been with the franchise too long. I've been with the franchise too long. I gotta go. And so that should be a good time. So those are things to look forward to in the near future. And also we're gonna have a very special, fun, I think holiday season for you guys in terms of movies. It's gonna be a very animated discussion, and we'll probably have Ryan and even maybe Michael will join us for that. I'm not sure. But we'll see. We shall see. All right, signing off. Goodbye.